So fashion has gotten a huge glow up thanks to social media. Instagram, YouTube and of course TikTok are now shaping trends, creating new aesthetics and making certain items blow up in popularity. And if you are a real fashion lover trying to make sense of all these styles, let me start breaking down before you scroll to another video. By the way, this video is gonna help you out if you still can't figure out what your style is called, or if you're trying to understand which core actually matches your personality. Right, so the iceberg I'm talking about today is basically a way to explain 4 categories of fashion styles. The first category, aka the tip of the iceberg, is the most basic and broad styles. These are the styles that kind of cover the whole fashion world without going too deep into any specific aesthetic. We're talking casual, classic, sportswear, smart casual, business casual, and a few more that I'll get into later if you actually stick around till then. The second category, which is like the base of the iceberg touching the water, is all about subcultures and trends that blew up because of social media. You could say these styles are branches of the basic styles from the first category. Here I'll talk about styles like preppy, streetwear, vintage, punk, goth, and a bunch of others. The third level of the iceberg, basically where we start going underwater, is where the modern mainstream aesthetics come in. These are the styles mostly known by people who watch fashion content on TikTok and Instagram. Since there's so much content on those platforms now, there are way more styles in this category. These are the so-called cores, or even more specific branches of the styles from the second category. Think old money, techwear, normcore, gorpcore, corpcore, bellycore, fairycore, and so on. And finally, the very bottom of the iceberg, the fourth category, is all the same styles and cores, but way less known, like goblin core. I actually spent a ton of time making this video, and yeah, it's my first one, so if you end up learning something, do me a favor and drop a like. It really helps push this video out so more people can stop dressing like bikini bottom wrestlers. Alright, let's get into it. Casual is exactly what it sounds like, just basic everyday fits. You're not dressing for the office, you're grabbing coffee while taking a walk in New York, just normal life. You see what I'm talking about. Classic style is built around timeless pieces. Button-down, split trousers, watches, belts, blazers, loafers. But here's the thing, owning these clothes doesn't automatically mean you look good. Styling is everything, and that's honestly the hardest part. So if you want to actually figure that out, hit subscribe. Next up is sportswear. Athletic tees, sneakers, tracksuits, shorts, joggers, basically anything inspired by sports. Business casual is kind of the middle ground between classic and old money. Yes, you work at the office, but you're comfortable and relaxed. Minimalism is pretty self-explanatory. Neutral colors, clean basics, no loud logos, no crazy accessories, just simple pieces that work together. Smart casual is basically casual but leveled up, a bit more formal and modern. Now let's go a little deeper down the fashion iceberg. Streetwear is basically casual fashion mixed up with hip-hop culture. Oversized silhouettes, sneakers, hoodies, probably the biggest style in the world right now. Grunge is straight of the 90s, it's messy on purpose and sits somewhere between punk and T2K. Preppy originally came from elite schools and universities, and honestly it's one of my favorite styles. It involves classic menswear but with more color, knitwear, polo and brands like Ralph Lauren. Then there's military style. I wouldn't really call it a full-on fashion style, but it's definitely an aesthetic inspired by a military gear, field jackets, cargo pants, and combat boots. Next is vintage, or what a lot of people now call archive fashion. The easiest way to get into it is by thrifting timeless pieces from well-known brands like Saint Laurent. Then we've got boho chic. It's basically a Mediterranean vacation mixed with a little bit of hippie. Honestly, it's way easier to show than explain. The last two here are punk and goth. I could try to explain them, but it's probably better if you just look at the screen. Moving on, old money or quiet luxury. Yeah, I know everyone's tired of hearing about it, but it's basically classic fashion mixed with preppy and vintage influences. Clean, timeless, expensive looking without screaming for attention. Next is cottagecore. The whole vibe is living close to nature, wearing cozy clothes, and looking like you spent your weekends relaxing, listening to country music, enjoying the nature, sitting near the campfire. Then we've got gorpcore, which honestly is one of the coolest trends right now. It's also about technical outdoor gear, cargo pants, fleeces, waterproof jackets, hiking shoes. Brands like Arc'teryx, Carhartt, Salomon, and even Nike absolutely nailed this aesthetic. Next is corpcore. Imagine the CEO of a billion-dollar company but make it fashionable. Tailoring, clean silhouettes, and modern office wear. Now we're getting into the more niche styles. First up is Akobi, also known as Korean streetwear. It's basically a leveled up mix of E2K and sportswear with muted colors, layered outfits, and a really clean aesthetic. Then there's Eclectic Grandpa, which is easily one of my favorite styles, maybe even the favorite. Colorful knitwear, patterned shorts, vintage jackets, loafers, and quality brands like Ralph Lauren. It's basically preppy but mixed with old money. And finally, E2K. It's one of those styles that's somehow both super niche and incredibly popular at the same time. Vintage pieces, slimmer fits, and early 2000s vibe. If you really want to understand any of these styles, spend some time on Pinterest, seriously. That's probably the best place to train your eye and start figuring out what actually looks good.